6 inches long, 1.5 wide. First thing we're going to do is heat it up, draw it down to about 1.25 wide. Then once I draw all that down, I'll start with the tip. Start drawing the tip out. Once I'm done with that, then I'll move to the handle. Draw the handle out. The last thing we do before the demonstration's over, I'm going to go through here and try and take out all hammer marks as best I possibly can. So it's called planishing. First heat up always takes the longest. The hammer I'm using has got a radius on it that I put on there so I can help. It helps me move the steel where I want it. It's not domed like the blacksmith would use. So this is actually set up where, just depending on how I hold this hammer, is where it's going to kind of force that steel to go. Then when I go to the planishing part, I'll go to a different hammer. It's got more of a flat face to it. I'll go to this one here. It's got more of a flat face. That way I can clean that up. One of the things that we're going to do is, since we've got corners on this, when I start drawing that tip down, I'm going to push that corner into it. It's called upsetting the metal. Push it in, work that roundness in it. Hopefully I can keep it from coming together and causing what I call fish lips. Some people, they'll just grind the corners off, so if they decide they're going to put the edge on, or they'll pre-cut and tip into it. But like I always say, well, where's the fun in that? You can fight with the steel, so see who wins. Sometimes I can do it easily, no problem. The steel cooperates. There's other times that it just fights me all the way, and I just have to grind the fish lips out. But otherwise, yeah, we're just going to start drawing this down. Feel, I guess. Put thickness on the edge. We want to try and keep that down. About there. This was a square cut. As you can see, this corner on the bottom is actually pushed out, so I've actually gained a little bit of length on that. Now we are going to switch these. We're going to draw out the other side. We're going to draw that thickness down as well. And what it's going to do is it's going to start to curve that edge, curve that spine. So we have to keep straightening that out. One thing we don't want to do is try and straighten it out while it's cold or under temperature, because you can introduce stress fractures into that steel. So we don't want to do that. So when we go to straighten that spine out, we'll make sure it's heated up really well, and then we'll straighten it out. start pushing that in. Start upsetting that metal. Only drawback to coal, you can't see your project all the time. So you gotta keep looking, you gotta keep focused.
See what? I don't know. He eats it up. Heats it in the fire, and then you can
Okay. So we gained quite a bit of length on that side, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and use that as our tip. We'll take the shorter side and start drawing that in. As I do this, I'm creating some width and I'm creating a flange almost. We don't want that to roll over. We just want to push that back in. If it rolls over, we're going to have to grind it off. That's unnecessary loss of steel. And if you press it together, you might think it's forward welded, and it's not. You'll end up with a crack when you come out of the plant. That tip is going to get hotter faster. So what we got to do is the closer we get to having that tip, we'll shove it through the core of the heat. It'll still heat up, but not as fast. So I'm going to throw it back in for another heat. I've got a little ridging on this side still, so I'm going to drill that thickness out. Then we'll move to the handle. It's harder to do that with propane, but it can be done. It's just if you don't pay attention. But coal, you'll do it very, very fast. Yes. The only tip. I'm going to round off the needle of that handle real quick. Let's round that off, and I'm going to do the planishing. This hammer, got a little bit flatter face to it. Now we're going to go to the blade and do the same thing. As we're heating the blade up, we also want to remember that tip is in there. We want to shove that past the core of the heat because we don't want that heating up faster than the blade itself. And it will burn. We come back with a tipless knife. quenching, tempering. Annealing is going to soften it, make sure everything's back in alignment. It's going to give me less of a chance of a warp in the quench. So then I quench, it's going to get really, really hard. We let that cool. Then we're going to stick it in the oven for 4 cycles, 1 hour each at 400 degrees. We're going to draw that brittleness back. As we draw that brittleness back, we're going to add toughness. The goal is to keep it somewhere on the lowest end of the Rockwell scale, 58. I like to try to keep mine somewhere in that 60 to 62 area. It's a good solid area for the 1095 blade. Do that again one more time on the other side. Okay. 5 Rockwell scale. And that's usually a lot of your tool steel. Things like that. And luckily, still got a little bit of thickness I gotta draw out there. So, as long as I'm not forging on this, I can kind of back and forth to get it straight. But it's when you're forging, you want to make sure you have heat. That blade would work. Because of all the deformation that I've done to it, it's so, the structure is so mangled up right now that it wouldn't take much for it to work at all. One of the things I do to help keep it from warping also is put it in what they call a straightening jig, which is your straightening jig. Just a couple pieces of angle iron, throw it in there, throw it in a vise, and because when you pull it out, you're still 600 to 800 degrees in temperature. So you've got some time. So if you throw it in that straightening jig, it's going to get it to where it needs to be. 9 times out of 10, when you pull it out, it'll be straight. Even if it was going to try and warp, it's going to be straight. But, so there we are. So I'll clean that edge up, clean the spine up, take all the forge scale off of it, and then put bevels on there. I do them about 80%, the primary bevel. Do about 80%, then I'll finish the heat treat. Once that's all done, then I do the cleanup grinding, put the secondary bevels on there. I use 25 to 30 degrees. It seems to be a good solid edge. You can beat on wood and go back and cut your steak. The more acute it is, the more kitchen knife it is. Because you can't beat on anything with a very acute edge and not turn it into a serrated blade. So, but yeah, there we go.
Nice. Thank you very much.